Hello everyone. Welcome to our learning channel. I'm Teacher Larnie, and I'm excited to guide you through today's lesson. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with all our new lessons. Now, let's get started. In our previous lesson, we discussed materials that absorb water and those that do not. Today, we're going to move on to an equally fascinating topic: materials that float on water. We'll look at various examples and understand why some materials float while others sink. Remember to have your notes ready, and feel free to pause the video at any time if you need to review or write something down. At the end of this lesson, the pupils should be able to classify materials based on their ability to float and sink. The weight of an object affects its ability to float and sink in water. Any material when placed in water is affected by the upward force of the liquid acting on the object. In this lesson, you will discover other materials that float or sink in water. Let's begin. Activity number 1. Directions: look at the pictures. Which of these will float or sink in water? Write your answer in your notebook. Let us check your answer. Did you get it right? Very good. You figured it out correctly. Activity number 2A. Directions: copy and record all your observations in your science notebook. Before we begin, I want to remind you, do not do this activity without the supervision of your parents or guardian. Be careful in handling the materials while performing the activity. Here are the steps for this activity. First, gather all the needed materials for the activity. Second, measure 1 liter of water and put water into the pail or basin. Third, put the materials one by one into the pail or basin of water. Fourth, observe what happens. Now, let us complete this table by putting a check if the materials float in water, or cross if it sink. Now, let's answer the guide questions. Answers to the different activities will be provided at the end of this video lesson. Now, let's move on to another activity. Activity number 2B. Directions: classify materials based on their ability to float and sink by checking the corresponding column. Again, answers to the different activities will be provided at the end of this video lesson. For better understanding of the activities, read and understand the following information. Sink means to fall to the bottom of water. Some things sink fast and some things sink slowly. In case of a sponge, we can notice that it floats at first on the water. However, as it begins to absorb water, it gets too heavy and sinks. Look at the example. Where do you think the stones go? Correct. They sink to the bottom of the water. Here are the few examples of materials that sink in water. Can you give me another example? If sink stays at the bottom of the water, float means to stay on top of the water. Many hollow things like balls, balloons, empty bottles will also float. That is because air is less dense than water. This is also the reason why a big ship can float though it is very heavy. There are lots of hollow space filled only with air inside of a ship. Some things float on top of water, some things stay submerged partway down, and some things sink. An object's weight can affect its ability to float. but some materials float no matter what their weight or size, such as styrofoam and balsa wood. If the material is less dense or lighter than the liquid, it will float. Can you give me examples of materials that float on water? Activity number 3A. Directions: look around your home, find at least 2 materials that floats and another 2 that sinks. Draw it in your science notebook. Activity number 3B. Directions: write F if the sentence describes the property of floating in water and S if it describes sinking. Do it in your science notebook. Again, answers to the different activities will be provided at the end of this video lesson. Did you get it right? That's better. Keep it up. Activity number 4. Based from the previous activities you have conducted, this time complete the statements below. Do this on your science notebook. Again, answers to the different activities will be provided at the end of this video lesson. Activity number 5. Directions: in 1 or 2 sentences answer the following questions briefly. Let us do our last activity. Directions: write fact if the statement is correct and bluff if it is false. Write your answer on your notebook. Here are the answer keys to the different activities. Did you get it right? Great job, everyone! You've now learned about materials that float on water. I hope you found this lesson informative and fun. In our next lesson, we will explore materials that undergo decay. Make sure to join us as we dive into this new and fascinating topic. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming lessons. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.